Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
Bridgerton. Hey y'all, hey. Welcome to Sisters Who Watch. I'm Shelby, and it's just me today. Surprise. I am doing a solo pod today, and I'm one half of Sisters Who Watch everything. TVs, movies, sports, concerts, and even romantic drama shows set in historic England. Woo! We love to watch, and we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching Bridgerton, Season 4 of Shonda Land's hit Netflix show. I am so excited to talk about Bridgerton. This is a special mini-sode, solo pod with just me, because I have been obsessed with Bridgerton Season 4. I feel like the world's obsessed. I feel like our listeners would want to hear and talk about Bridgerton, and sadly Laura refuses to watch. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come on here and talk about it anyway. Just a quick gab with all of y'all. So we're trying something new. Hope you all like it. I'm very excited to dive into Bridgerton and why I'm obsessed with Season 4. And dare I say, is it the best season yet? We'll find out. Before we get into it, here's a little PSA, friendly reminder to please rate, review, subscribe. We appreciate every review that you write. We appreciate 5 stars, please and thank you, and all the follows across various platforms, whether it's Apple, Spotify, on social media with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We appreciate y'all so much. And don't forget, you can go to our website and even buy merch. Okay, the moment y'all have been waiting for. Let's dive in to Bridgerton Season 4. As always, here's the logline for background for y'all, but hopefully everyone knows what Bridgerton is. Here it is. The 8 close-knit siblings of the Bridgerton family look for love and happiness in London high society. Oh, so good. As I mentioned before, this is a Shonda Land produced project. I'm a big Shonda Rhimes fan. I've been following her ever since Grey's Anatomy. I've read her book, Year of Yes. Love Shonda down. All her content is soapy and romantic, female-led, very passionate, motivated, complex female characters. So I love it. Love, love, love. Scandal's one of my favorite shows ever. And Bridgerton, even though I wasn't super into Season 1, Season 2 with Cantony and Queen Charlotte reeled me in. Honestly, those 2 seasons of television were so amazing. So yeah, I am a Bridgerton stan, and I was very excited for Season 4, even though Season 3 wasn't my favorite. I wasn't the biggest Penelope and Colin fan. I don't know what their ship name is, but it's definitely not Cantony or Benophie. But I'm here for Bridgerton. So even though Season 3 let me down, I was pumped for Season 4. Particularly because Bridgerton has long gaps, 2 years. So it's dang, it's not like Only Murders in the Building or The Pit at this point. They're cranking out seasons year after year. So I was like, it's about time, Bridgerton. It's been too long. I'm ready. And boy, did it deliver. First of all, Benedict, I think, is one of the better brothers. I thought he was an interesting arc as the artsy one, the queer one, the one that was a bit on the outskirts of society. But he seemed like the sweet one. So I was excited to okay, he's the nice brother. See how it works out for him. And of course, it starts out with him being a rake as well. Classic, following in Antony's footsteps. But a more likable rake. Antony was a tough one. And then I like how that compares to Sophie, who's a maid. And you're like, wait, how's this going to work? But we first just see her entering the masquerade, as we don't know who she is. And then the flashbacks highlight that she's a maid and she's sneaking out to have this special night. And right away, I was like, oh, parallels with Cinderella. She is the evil stepmother and the stepsisters. Super clear. She leaves a glove, and then he has the glove to search and find her. I love that. People might be tired of Cinderella references, but no, as a romance girl, a rom-com girl, I love the parallels to other core romantic tropes and stories. I think it's genius. Playing off of Cinderella, we all know that. It's great. Great IP to lean into. And Bridgerton already has really good IP with the books by Julie Quinn. I have not read them, but I know people are very passionate about the series. Eventually, maybe I will. Like, I bought the Summer I Turned Pretty books last year after watching the series because I was like, you know what? I should probably read it. I've not read those yet, but I am really impressed at like how good these book to screen adaptations are. I love it. But going back to the Cinderella storyline, I thought that was really smart. And I also, as someone who watched things like Downton Abbey, I like that we were getting the upstairs downstairs vibes with this season. I thought it was a cool departure to see, oh, like, let's see what the maids are doing. They're such a big part of this high society. They like run the businesses, right? They run these households like businesses. I also watch Gilded Age, and I think they do a good job of showing upstairs, downstairs. So I'm glad Bridgerton leaned into that more, even with the maid wars, showing how important they were, and also showing like the dynamics of wealth and status. I think Bridgerton, of course, plays on like, oh, kind of race blind and like very diverse love stories, which I love. I think it's great that you had Sophie as Korean love interest for Benedict. I love that. But I also think a huge factor here, particularly in this society, was the fact that she was poor or was a maid. And I think almost seems like that was bigger than regardless of what her ethnicity or background was. It was the fact that, oh, she's a maid and you are a nobleman. Like, you can't be with her. So I thought that was really interesting for them to delve into and highlight that back in the day, you had to marry noble. And even now, I feel like you see those dynamics in present day. Like, class and wealth definitely and status play a factor in relationships. Like, I think certain level of people who are wealthy, you want to stay at that level. you kind of have matchmakers. You can't just marry anyone. But I thought it was a really good start. The masquerade, the Cinderella moment, and I loved how Benedict was looking so hard for her. Oh, drawing her, painting her, and sadly like giving up, being heartbroken. And Sophie trying to be like, oh no, he can't be looking for me. It's not me. And then it's like, girl, yeah, he's looking for you. So I thought it was great, like, just to like see their personalities and how they were handling their connection that happened at that masquerade ball. Then I think what made the season so good are two things. One, our leads had a lot of time together. My issue with the Cantonese season is that I didn't get enough of Kate and Antony together. It happened at the end. I was like, wait, we're done? But this season, the cottage, my cottage, amazing. Seeing Benedict and Sophie, like basically Sophie nursed Benedict to health and them just in that cottage for a whole episode, amazing. Her working for Bridgerton House and him showing up all the time, great. They just had so many interactions, and you really saw them have good conversations. You saw them fall in love, and I feel like a lot of times with Bridgerton, you don't always see that much of the couple. So I loved that. I thought that was a highlight. I also think a highlight was the fact that all of the minor characters, the B, C, D storylines were developed. Last year with Bridgerton, I could not tell you what the side storylines were. This year, ooh, I wanted to see how Francesca was dealing with not reaching the pinnacle with her husband, and then fertility issues, and then sadly, the grief of him dying. I wanted to see Eloise trying to work with Hyacinth and figure out like how to be a supportive sister, even though she doesn't care about etiquette and doesn't want to get married. But you see her evolution over the season, like, maybe marriage isn't that bad. I wanted to see Violet deal with like not just identifying as a mom and a widow as a wife and get her groove back. Her line, I am the tea that you are having, best line of the season, best line I've heard in a while. So well written. I also wanted to see all the Lady Danbury and Queen scenes as they're trying to figure out how the relationship is evolving, with Agatha realizing, I need a break. I need to travel. I can't be your lady in waiting anymore. I've been doing this since I was young. And to see how their relationship was evolving and they were challenging each other as friends and sisters. Their final scene when they're just laughing together. Please. Please. And this season also had really like big obstacles. Like when Benedict called Sophie, "Be my mistress," and that was the cliffhanger for the first part, I was done. And what's crazy is I don't even fault him, because in his mind, the only way he could be with someone that's not his status is for her to be mistress. And he was surrounded by people living that life. So I don't blame him, but I feel bad. Poor thing. He really thought he was doing right by her. Oh, tragic. I also think that it was good that Sophie didn't fold. She was like, no, you need to like grovel and win me back. And Benedict did not stop. The fact that he fell in love with her in a mask and then fell in love with her as a maid and pursued her equally both times and did not give up, that's what you want. You want someone that fights for you like Benedict fought for Sophie. So good. And I also loved how you saw that everyone was like, oh, Sophie's not your typical maid. Like, she was there for all the Bridgerton girls and Mrs. Bridgerton, and they were all like peeping, like, oh, something's up. I will say my least favorite part was the way Sophie's stepmom treated her. Oh, she was rough. She really played a villain. But I think you needed that foil. The fact that they moved next door, the fact that she was trying to comfort her for stealing something, like, you needed that to further impact the storyline. And then I thought it was smart for the Bridgertons to save the day. The fact that Benedict told his mom that he loves Sophie, and Violet was like, oh, this isn't just lust, this is love. She was like, 10 toes down, I'm standing behind you. Even if it means you might not be able to be with our family anymore, no matter what, I will support you. Giving him the ring, just all this stuff, I was like, whoa, I love how supportive the Bridgertons are of each other. They really ride for each other. And Antony and Kate came. Antony returned with their baby. Such a cute baby. Antony, of course, came in a little strong and was giving bad advice. Shocker. Literally telling Benedict to drop Sophie, and that he clearly wasn't thinking straight and making a thoughtful decision, when Benedict obviously knew he was. Ugh, classic, the romance. They pull apart, they come together, they pull apart, they come together. Their sexual scenes were great too. I thought they had great chemistry. I thought they took care of each other. This season was so good, y'all. I rewatched season 2 because I was so obsessed with Cantony. I have not rewatched season 4 yet, but I honestly could, because I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to do? There's like so much time left before the next season. Like, I'm already feeling withdrawals. I will say, I did like how at the end you had the Mrs. Mondridge, the new lady in waiting. You had Violet, Bridget, like everyone came together to help Benedict and Sophie be together. And I think it showed the power of community and all of them trying to make it work. And so I'm glad it was a resolution at the end where they kind of blackmailed her evil stepmother and were able to pretend that she was a cousin of theirs and she could marry Benedict, no issue. No concern about whether or not she was a part of high society. It was great. And then Lady Danbury is able to go on her trip. Like, Violet breaks it off with Lady Danbury's brother. Well, he breaks it off with her because she's like, I want to have time for myself. She basically wanted him to be like her plaything. And he was like, no, I want a relationship. She's like, well, guess it's over. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I will say, I got annoyed when this show ended and there wasn't a wedding. I was like, are we just going to end Bridgerton without a wedding, seeing them happy? They played with us because there was a post-credit scene of their wedding. I was like, Bridgerton, y'all have to stop playing games, but I'm glad you guys have I'm glad you guys have that scene. I needed that. And it was so beautiful. Antony was the best man, even though he was a bit of a clown. You had various maids and servants there at the wedding, which I thought was really important, given what Sophie had been doing. You had her nice stepsister there with her new man. It was such a cute little wedding at the cottage. Now, their cottage, our cottage. Oh, so beautiful. And the fact that the last scene or last shot is a painting that Benedict finally finished of Sophie with like her necklace and everything, I was like, please, Benedict, so beautiful. And how he finally remembered who she was by looking at her necklace, it was too good. This season was so good. How do y'all feel? I honestly, it's 100% a watch. And I feel like it might be the best Bridgerton season yet because, again, we got so much of the couple. You're rooting for them. And the other storylines were very well thought out and made sense. I usually would fast forward through like the B, C, D storylines typically when I watch Bridgerton. I was like, I don't really care about this. But this season, I was rooting for everybody. I was curious. I was like, whoa, everyone has interesting things happening. So kudos to the writers. Y'all did your thing. I need season 5 to come soon. And I also like how you added the podcast to Netflix because it was prompted to me after I finished the season. I was like, oh, maybe I'll put it on. It's great. So if y'all haven't seen the Bridgerton podcast, listen to that. Love the interviews. I love the press tour that Sophie and Benedict have been doing, or I guess Luke and Yaren have been doing. Speaking of Yaren, I had to work at the London West Hollywood for an event like a week or two ago, and she was literally in and out of the hotel in the lobby. I was like fangirling. I mean, didn't say anything, but I was like, not Sophie, right there in front of me. Crazy. But yes, y'all, Bridgerton season 4 was great. I had to do a little rant, had to do a little minisode. Let me know what you think. Do you like this? Do you want to hear more about various things Laura and I are watching, but maybe the other isn't? Because we can do more of this. This is new. We're trying something out, but I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you watch Bridgerton season 4. I want to know, how does this compare for the other Bridgerton seasons for you? Or are you as jazzed about this as I am? Because it's so, so good. But thank you so much for watching. And of course, please make sure you rate, download, subscribe, all the things. So grateful for y'all. And thank you for listening to this mini-sode. Stay watching.